And now, here's the starting 11 for your Portland Thorns FC. In goal, number 24, Adriana Franch. Number 2, Catherine Reynolds. Number 16, Emily Sonnet. Number 4, Emily Minguez. Number 25, Megan Klingenberg. Number 7, Lindsay Horan. Number 10, Allie Long.
Game day in the Rose City. It has been over a month since the Portland Thorns have hosted an NWSL match, and tonight they'll welcome league-leading Washington to Providence Park. Good evening, everybody. That's Janine Sparra, former member of the U.S. national team. I'm Ann Schatz, and we're delighted to have you with us. All right, the Portland Thorns finally home after a long, long road swing. They come back still undefeated, and they picked up some points as well.
They did, and that's such a great, sense of accomplishment for this team, because we've talked before about their troubles they've had on the road, but they've done a great job. They're happy with it. They've got the points, a win, a couple ties. So they're looking like they're in a really good position, picking up those points in the middle of this situation.
All right, so you go into tonight's matches and you look at Washington leading everybody with the 13 points. Portland, though, in good shape with 9. And if they can pick up 3 points tonight, it gets very interesting.
It does. I mean, they're in really good shape. Like I said, they've done well. They've gotten the points. They've put themselves in a good position. They're not coming out of a hole. They're right where they want to be.
Right.
A couple more wins would have been great, but now they're home for a couple of games. They get the chance to really show things here. I mean, they're doing well.
Washington, a very dynamic club. They can score some goals. Here's what's interesting. This is an undefeated bunch, and Crystal Dunn, who led the league with 15 goals last year, has yet to find the back of the net.
Yeah, both teams are undefeated, so it's really nice to see them together. So this should be an exciting game. Crystal Dunn, an exciting player. Hasn't been on the board in the scorer sheet, but she has 3 assists.
Yes.
So that's really translates to 3 goals for her team. The things that she does for her team, the people that she's around, the things that she gives them are super important. So it's a team sport, and she's done a great job for that. And who knows? I mean, those goals will come.
What I'm hoping for is a matchup tonight with Dunn against Megan Klingenberg of the Portland Thorns. That could be loads of fun to watch. 2
top players in the world right now going against each other is going to be super exciting. Klingenberg making that, top 11 for the World Cup. I mean, she's just an exciting defender. And to see those 2 against each other, how technical they are, what great soccer different players they are is going to be a great thing to see.
So lineups are just around the corner, and of course opening kickoff here at Providence Park. The Washington Spirit taking on the Portland Thorns. Back at you in just a moment.
Now order online at papamurphys.com and get 25% off all pizzas. In other words, order online for a 25% price cut. Order online to slice 25% off the cost of your pizzas. Or order online to shred 25% off your Papa Murphy's pizza bill. It's a great deal, any way you slice it. Enter code SAVE25 at checkout and save 25% off all Papa Murphy's pizzas. papamurphys.com. Love at 425 degrees.
The world is a curious place, full of puzzles still waiting to be solved. Stonehenge, the pyramids, Easter Island, and today, another enigma rises out of the clouds. Who is the face on the tail?
There's do-it-yourself health, and then there's times when you need more. Introducing Providence Express Care. Get a same-day visit for the things you just can't treat at home. The sore throat that won't quit, that soccer sprain, the stomach ache that no pink drink can settle. We're here for you 7 days a week with extended hours to suit your life. Want fast care from folks who know health? That's Providence Express Care. Find the location nearest you today at providenceexpresscare.org.
Welcome back to Providence Park. A chilly, rainy night in Portland, but a good crowd expected for tonight's NWSL match between the hometown Thorns and Washington Spirit. Portland head coach Mark Parsons in his first year with the Thorns after spending 3 years as the Spirit's head coach, developing that squad into playoff form in 2014 and 2015. Thorns starting lineup looks like this. French between the pipes again as Betos continues to nurse that shoulder injury. Usual suspects on that Thorn back line. Horan and Long, the holding mids. Christine Sinclair making her first start of the year.
She is. She's coming back in, and we're happy to see her here with those playing partners next to Heath, Nadim, Dagny above her, and Horan and Long below. So her combinations in those playing pairs or playing partners are going to be super exciting to see her influence the team and what she can do and kind of make this team click even more than they have been.
Jim Gabera in his first year with Washington after 3 years with Sky Blue. His starting 11 looking like this. Stephanie LeBay, the Canadian, will start in goal. U.S. national team veteran Allie Krieger will anchor the defense. That D has given up but 1 goal this season, by the way. Spirit so strong in that midfield. Matheson leading the way.
She's done a great job. She's been really exciting. She's got 3 goals. She's been, basically the engine of the team up there. Works hard, never stops, creates things, and she's just an exciting player to watch.
Dunn, one of the most dynamic, explosive players, of course, in women's soccer, will be the target up top. There's a good look at Mark Parsons, the head coach of the Portland Thorns. The Thorns coming in at 2-0-3 with those 9 points. Washington at 4-0-1 atop the table with 13 points. Portland in their home kits, red from stem to stern. Spirit's road kits has the white socks, navy blue shorts, and white jerseys. Temperature about 57, 58 degrees. It's chilly. Winds west-southwest, 7 miles an hour. The rain kind of teasing us, Janine, on and off again. But this is a pretty darn good night for soccer all the same. I mean, it's May in the Northwest.
It's a beautiful Portland evening. It's just a little bit of that rain. And I always like to say, welcome to the Pacific Northwest, Washington. Here you are. Play here.
These two clubs have had some explosive games in the past. And Washington comes into this game having scored 7 goals, giving up but 1 all season long. The Portland Thorns with 5 goals scored, only having given up 5 goals, and they've been able to stay in a lot of games, Janine. No losses yet for either club. Portland's defense has been huge, and we are underway. Washington coming off a 1-0 victory over Houston. Portland's last road trip had them up in Seattle, a 1-1 draw. Nadeem gives it up. Parsons expects a Washington club, Janine, that will really hunker down defensively, not have to shift a whole lot, because this is a direct style offensive spirit club.
Yeah, their previous games have showed a lot to just, play that low block, basically push people up, play the ball long, and just try to get forward, and not really a lot of work through the midfield. So that's kind of what they're expecting out of this team, and it'll be interesting to see how they come out, if they change any of that for this game.
A couple of very good keepers will hold down the fort. LeBay, how about her? The Canadian, who is obviously with World Cup experience. And this is a great acquisition for this Washington club. She's had 3 straight shutouts, has LeBay, 4 in the last 5 games.
She's done a great job. It's a great find, bringing a kind of young keeper in, but who has great experience. So they're expecting a lot of good things out of her. Out of UConn, she's played for the national team, for the Canadian national team. At 15, she started her youth career there. She played for the U20s as well as the 21s, and then started with the women's team. And played professionally in Sweden. So she's got a great background, and she's a great person to bring into the league.
I think a lot of folks were wondering how Washington would do. They left unprotected, obviously, Ashlyn Harris, so Orlando grabbed her. She's been fantastic. But LeBay has been equal to the task.
Right, and there's plenty of good keepers out there. You just have to look, and they did their homework. Jim Gabarra is a great coach. He's been in the league for a long time.
Yes.
He's been in the original incarnation of the WUSA for many years, and stayed with Washington Freedom for a long time. Actually got to be with that team, the San Jose team, and play against them in the opening match of the WUSA. Well, I didn't play, but we played against them.
Yep.
So he's got great experience, ex-professional player, and he's done a great job. His team's atop the chart.
These 2 clubs met earlier in May. Chippy match, if you will, scoreless, 0-0 tie. Franch had the 6 saves, denied Farquharson, tipped Huster's volley over the crossbar. Dunn hit the crossbar late, and that was the game. That was the match that Heath was sent off with those 2 yellows.
Right, and so just things happen. They're exciting matches, but these are 2 good teams that are ready to play against each other, and that goes to show their history, and this should be an awesome game tonight.
We're 4 minutes in here at Providence Park. Rain letting up just a bit. Love to see that. Christine Sinclair getting the starting nod for the first time this season with that Achilles injury. Got in against Seattle, played a chunk of time, but is expected to really put in some quality minutes tonight.
It's a good little touch by Christine Nairn to play it back to the keeper and kind of slow things down a little bit. She's a quality player.
Oh, man. As good as she was in Seattle way back in 2013, it was a great acquisition by Washington to pick her up, and she has been rock solid for them.
I think she's flown a little bit under the radar, and I don't know why. I mean, everybody knows about her. She's done really well. But for some reason, maybe she just, hasn't gotten those opportunities at the senior level that she should have.
Parsons warned us about her, and anybody who's aware of Nairn's game, it's from distance, and she'll hurt you with both feet.
Yeah, she'll pop that shot from 35, 40 yards out, and she has no problem with that. She's very smooth, very calm, great game awareness, and that's why she hits those. She catches the keeper off the line. Keeper has stepped up. She knows there's space over the top, and she'll hit that 40-yard ball.
Franch is going to have to be aware of that. Sinclair leaves it. Nadeem playing wide into space. A little heavy on that touch. Long couldn't catch up, but Allie stays with it. Unlucky there.
It's a good early attack from the Thorns, and Mark Parsons talked before the game about Allie Long, hoping that she can kind of get sprung. Keep Horan low, because they're both playing that holding mid, but allowing one to go at a time, and you just saw that where she goes through that run, and, you know, unlucky in a little bit of the touch, but it's good to see her in the attack this early.
You mentioned Horan in her first year with the Thorns. She's got those 2 goals. She and Dagny leading the club with 2 goals apiece. Alyssa Kleiner getting the start for Washington. Portland Thorn fans aware of her. Had a good shift in her one and only season with the Thorns last year. She's starting tonight for the Spirit, and here comes Washington. Krieger leaves it. Nairn just kind of floating up top near the top of the box. Here's Dunn, so dynamic. Menges, one of the speedier players on the club. She, regardless of if Dunn, whatever flank, is going to have her hands full.
True. It's nice to have Menges and Klingenberg, though, together and here on that side, you know, because Krieger's coming up this side. You've got Dunn on that side, but 2 really experienced good players. And as you said, you know, with the speed of Menges, it really is a nice job to kind of hopefully keep up and slow her down a little bit.
First corner of the game. Kind of a knuckleball headed out of the way by Horan, and Nadeem using her speed but can't quite get it. A little heavy on the touch there is Kleiner.
A little conservative on the corner from the Thorns, kind of sending everybody back, and, you know, able to clear it, but they had nobody up top to kind of relieve pressure to get it to. So it's a little unfortunate, but they end up getting lucky with the touch from Kleiner.
Huster so smart with the ball. And there's that direct style we were talking about. Thorns defense ready for that sequence. Dangerous there. Horan battling, beautiful ball inside. Ooh.
Narn is so quick. She just picks up that ball and immediately finds someone. Her vision is really good and delivers that pass.
Well, Matheson was right there, just inches away from getting something on frame.
You could see her win it and then look immediately up and plays it as fast as that. That is some really good touch.
Menges coming in at the last second to save the day there. Last year, Nairn with the 5 goals and 4 assists. A great compliment to Dunn, but they're hoping that Katie Stengel will be that other complementary piece up top for Washington. And so far, as we mentioned, Dunn, who did everything last year. League MVP, Golden Boot, best 11, 15 goals and 3 assists, has yet to find the back of the net.
But her impact on the team is still there. She's, you know, you can't downplay the fact that she's really giving something to the team that they're so successful. They're still sitting in such a good position. You know, they're number 1.
Nice job by Horan. Dunn, dispossessed. So quick. Nicely played there. Reynolds. As Portland has yet to really get much offense going. Dangerous here. Long tackle, foul's going to go against Washington. Lohman a little too aggressive on that.
I think Long was hoping for a little bit of a conversation to happen between the referee and after that one and Lohman.
There are some 5 or 6 cautions in the match the last time these 2 teams played. And again, that was a scoreless draw. And I think both teams have been looking forward to this rematch.
It's not that you want the yellow cards, but it does show a certain amount of spirit to the game that they're going out there and really playing hard and trying to go after it.
Nadeem catches up, and here's Reynolds. Heavy touch there by Haran. Menges keeping it alive, though, and here's Allie. Point of attack is switched. Unlucky there for the Thorns. Heath in good shape on that far sideline. A little too much on that service.
I would have liked to seen Allie look up the field a little bit on that one instead of just looking to the outside. At least give a glance. First thing you have to do is find the most dangerous attack or the most dangerous ball to give and then look someplace else. I'd like to see her have that attacking mentality a little bit more.
Klingenberg. We talked about watching she and Dunn pair up. I mean, obviously Dunn playing with a understandable chip on her shoulder last year, not being named to that World Cup club. It's a foregone conclusion that that mistake will be rectified. And she's just been a delight to watch, Dunn, on every level.
I agree. It's just wonderful to see them out here, and the exciting fact that we get to watch those two players together. It starts to get you excited for the Olympics and for, you know, every match this season, watching these players grow and compete against each other.
You got to be happy for Dunn. Nice turnaround by Long there as the defender goes the other way, and Allie does possess there. And here's Heath. That's who Portland wants to have the ball.
Hit that one. Probably didn't get as much on it as she wanted. Kind of didn't lock her ankle quite hard enough, and ball kind of floated in a little bit more. But again, see, that's the attacking mentality that Mark Parsons wants, that you want to see out of the team, is that they're looking to goal, they're trying to go forward.
I like that idea by Heath a lot. She leads this entire league in assists with 4. She's just been a helper machine.
It's such an impactful player.
Oh, and playing the best soccer of her career. No question about it.
Well, I can't emphasize enough how important this league is in the development of these people, and you see how their ages and how old they are. And again, like, they're still so young comparatively. You're not even seeing the best. They still have, you know, years to go to just develop and show more and more what they can do.
Portland with that roster where the average age is under 25. So yes, a club that's got a ton of great experience, but growing in maturity as well. Best soccer ahead of them. Sinclair will carry.
Nice to see Klingenberg getting up into the attack, so it's nice to see her. You'll see that out of Krieger as well, coming up on the other side. And then you've talked about Kleiner on the left side. She can, you know, she gets up a lot, so you're going to see a lot of attacking from those outside backs in this match.
Portland's offense showing a little bit more life as they've spread this field and been able to find some pockets, even though Heath's shots have been high.
Yeah, they switched a little bit so that, you know, go into the middle, switch it to the opposite side. There's a little bit room on the out so that they're able to kind of deliver that crosser going forward. So it is a good attack. It is, you know, seeing a little bit more excitement out of them and that willingness to try to go forward and find each other.
Sonnet going right up against Dunn.
That's another interesting one with Sonnet being the young one, just out of college, and coming in and playing against someone who's got a couple more years on her. Not many, but, you know, a couple more and a little bit more experience, and just doing a really good, solid job.
Emily Sonnet, the first overall pick of the NWSL draft. What a stud at Virginia. Another corner kick for the Spirit. Here's Naren. Franch goes up top.
Nicely taken by Franch. Not a problem for her. Really very confident. Waits for it, just brings it down. She wasn't really pressed, but good for her to come out and deal with that ball.
It's interesting, Mark Parsons was talking to us before the game. He has yet to have 2 completely healthy keepers to choose from. Beto starting this season as Franch was a little nicked up, and then Michelle got hurt at the end of that FC Kansas City match, was going to go against Boston, but was scratched late. And Franch, getting more and more healthy, has had the starting nod since. The steal, Heath. Sizes up the defense and leaves it long. Nadim is going to tee it up. Great idea. Oh! The one-timer from Long, and LeBay goes down to deny.
That's a great opportunity from the Thorns. Well worked in. push the ball up top, give it to the outside. They had 3 players back post.
What a ball by Nadim, too.
Such a great ball in. She hits a great whipped-in ball, a little bit of a touch. Long just kind of gets something on it. It's a nice early opportunity.
Parsons talking raving about Long's dirty work mentality, doing everything that doesn't score up or show up in the score sheet. Almost had her first goal of the year. Nice save by LeBay.
It's good for Long. You know, it's good to hear that she's accepting that role. She's playing a little bit lower than I think she generally likes, but she's getting things out of it. And with the system, with her being able to be allowed to go forward, you know, she can still get on the other end.
Klingenberg leaving it for Sinclair. Captain Sink nearing the 18.
Such a great ball from Sinclair.
Nadim dangerous here with the left foot. Oh!
Deflected. If that ball's not deflected, I bet you it's in. And Parsons said she can hit with either foot. She's crossing from either side of the field. And you can see she gets the ball on the outside, cuts it back to her left, and then hits it, no problem, right in stride. That ball is going far post.
Oyster got a knee on that thing to deflect it out of harm's way. Beautifully struck. First corner for Heath and the Thorns here in the 17th minute. Horan tries to turn. Ball still anybody's. Lohman coming away with it and clears.
Kind of tough situation. It'd be nice if they could have shown a little bit more composure, kind of come out of it, come out of the crowd, work the ball around a little bit. But it's good. Again, they have that mentality. They're in the box. They want to go. So it's a good sign.
Portland's offense very crisp the last 3-4 minutes. Foul goes against the Thorns. 17th minute scoreless. Sink with the little flick. Huster keeps it in the back pocket of the Spirit, and Krieger goes against her national team buddy Heath. Krieger playing all but 10 minutes in the World Cup chase, that gold for the United States, all but 10 minutes. What a warrior. Nairn, clever.
Some good pressure.
Beautiful job by Dagny, and here comes Sinclair, who wants to turn. Hesitates just a bit.
Oh, what a great ball over the top.
Oh, and the flag goes up. Yep. Tobin, it was a great ball up top, and Tobin kind of laying in the weeds on that one.
Hard to tell if Washington got lucky or if they're just really good. I think they're really good. See where she kind of keeps going forward a little bit. I think she just dropped past Oyster on that.
You saw Heath's shoulders slump a little bit. She knew she had been had. Sink again making her first start of the season, missing those early games with the Achilles injury, and finally getting a chunk of time at Seattle last weekend. Great to have her back in the lineup, giving Parsons some depth from the bench too.
Goodness, you can't argue. I mean, everybody loves Sinclair, her work rate, her skill, everything that she does. So it's so great to have her back. And again, you know, being able to see her work with those other players. You look at this team, you know, on paper and now on the field, them playing together, there's incredible things that go on.
Follow the Thorns with flights to over 40 cities. Alaska Airlines serves from Portland, including Boston, Dallas, and 4 LA area airports. For Alaska's lowest prices, visit alaskaair.com.
Nice ball from Allie. Again, it's just so nice to see these players playing out there. And it's such good soccer. You know, it's so wonderful to see them locally come out and be able to watch them play, not only just play, but against each other too.
This league just keeps getting better and better every year. Dagny finds Heath. Heath waiting for everybody to catch up. Cuts it back.
Some nice patience, a little side-to-side movement.
Allie's ball deflected, nicely played by Lohman. Sonnet finds Menges. Here's Heath again on that far sideline.
You're getting the numbers in.
Oh, there was Zadorsky. Another really fine acquisition. What a defender. She has been terrific for this Washington club, the Canadian international.
They're just solid up and down. If you look at their roster, if you look at the players that play for them, most of these young women have played for either the United States national team or their home if they're from Canada. I mean, that's a lot of great experience. And these players playing U15, U17, U20 World Cups. I mean, these are solid sides.
Dagny getting up top, heading it down. This kind of leaves it for Horan. High and wide.
It did not miss by much. She got a nice little bend on that ball, and I'd say probably only about, let's give her a 1.5 feet.
Boy, misplayed by Huster. Unlucky as she slipped on the slippery turf, and Horan.
Maybe it was a little bit higher than that.
Yeah.
But it was a great touch. I mean, she cleaned it, changed it to her right foot, and then hit it and struck it pretty well.
Cabrera, all that experience you were talking about in the D.C. area, and obviously took Sky Blue to the playoffs in 2013. The last couple of years with Sky Blue, tougher, no doubt about it. But he looks to be very comfortable with this Washington club, the spirit atop the table. Dunn, look at the speed. Nadim tries to tackle, no can do, and the foul is going to go against the Thorns. The foot speed and how quick and clever she changes directions is just a blast to watch in Crystal Dunn.
It is. I mean, it's amazing to think about how could she do that fast? But, she takes a good touch, and then she's going to go by you. She sets you up. I've seen her set up and split two defenders really quickly, just with very little space between.
But the help defense has been there for Portland. So far, so good in that respect if you're a Thorns fan. Here's Nairn. Dangerous ball here. Headed away by Horan. Heath juggling. Krieger. Krieger always in the right place at the right time. Matheson turning the corner. Heath. What a job by Tobin.
Great defending from Heath.
Terrific job by Tobin.
Matheson and you talk about fast. She's fast and quick as well. She turns the corner. She's got the touch. She'll kind of go around you. She's just ready to go. Stop, start, go back. I mean, those are some good players out there.
Just love to see Matheson healthy again. All the litany of injuries that this Canadian has gone through. And she's healthy and dangerous and
ready to go.
You bet, always ready to go. So still scoreless here in the 24th minute. Portland's defense has been very good, and the offense has tested LeBay and that Washington defensive back line. Sink attracts all kinds of attention. Some nice one-touches by the Thorns.
It's great ball movement from the Thorns. See, the field is opening up. They've got their backs wide, creating a little space, and then trying to find the seams up top. The surface probably doesn't go exactly where Long wanted it to, but you can see what they're trying to do and trying to play and build. You see the Thorns adding the pressure, and the pressure that they're putting on Washington, forces those touches out of bounds. I mean, Crystal Dunn is a top player, but, getting pressure from all the players, if everybody buys in on your team and everybody does their defensive job and you defend as a team, it puts, pressure on everyone, even the top players, and then things happen, right? You create turnovers.
As a former keeper for the U.S. national team, Janine, what do you see in French that has really given a lot of fans a lot of hope in terms of she and Betos being that combination 1-2 punch.
Well, we know Betos, and what we're seeing from Franch, and I was able to see her and warm up a little bit. She's very quick. She's a strong woman. You look at her, she can cover ground, she comes out, she took the cross, but also when you're looking them shoot before, she can knock things down, she can get to them. She's got quick hands, quick reactions. So she's got, she's developed holistically, not just like one part of her game where it's not just strong. Some people are just strong or tall, but she's quick as well.
Franch has had great success on many youth teams. We'll get back to that in a second. And parried away by LeBay.
It's a great turning shot by Dagny.
Dagny settles it and then rifles the shot that LeBay is able to get a mid on.
This is the speed of play you want to see from him. Gets knocked in, takes a touch, and hits. That's great, and she's on frame too, forcing LeBay to make a really nice save.
Klingenberg just kind of tees it up, the header opportunity. Excuse me, that's Horan trying to get clever with the ball.
I have to say, that's a lot of composure in the box for her. She is trying to pull that ball back away from the defender and basically jump back on one foot to gain some space for herself.
It results in another corner, though.
Yeah, it's great. You can see her thinking on the field what she's trying to do.
There it is from Horan! Oh my goodness! How many times have Heath and Horan combined for a goal? And the Thorns are on the board in the 27th minute.
I tell you, Horan finds that ball. She knows where to be. She's going to go, get to the place where she knows that ball is coming to. She does it all the time. And that's a perfect example of having an idea of where that ball is going to get to. She's literally standing there, it comes right to her. She's like, I've got this, finishes.
Horan with her third goal of the year. It was a beauty, and the corner kick from Heath was right on target.
Unbelievable, you can see them working through each other and just, great combination.
So 1-0, the Portland Thorns enjoying a rare first half lead.
Just comes right to her and she just taps it in. I think it might be even off of her chest. Oh, she does head it. She just takes 1 to 2 steps back.
And LeBay had no chance. The Canadian time after time denying the Thorns. But that time, Horan calmly just stands on that back post and heads it in.
Again, she's always been very composed. I mean, from the time, like I said, I've seen her when she was 13, 14 years old, saw her on the U15 national team, always a really composed and strong player and very smart. I think she knows where to go, and I think her and Heath are like developing a really good sense of knowing each other and where they are, and so she knows where to go. She finds the ball.
So Heath with her 5th assist of the season to lead the NWSL. Nairn.
Great little touch behind her back.
Beautiful ball into Matheson, who wants to turn and shoot with the left.
So you can't count Washington out. They're a good team. You see that quick little touch behind Nairn's back. I mean, that was great. Just kind of pulled back behind, finds her player Matheson up top, and then, and then a really quick shot from Matheson as well.
Here's Dunn with some open space, overlap Krieger. Smartly played by Klingenberg. But here's Huster. Horan, all that experience over in France, as she says no to the college scholarship at North Carolina and decides to go pro out of high school, and a huge get. Basically coming back to play in the United States and in the NWSL, and obviously getting a big look as far as the U.S. national team, and kind of needed to come home to do that.
Yeah, she made a great decision, and I believe in going to school. I think it's super important, but as far as your athletic career, you can't get that back. Being able to go over and play in France, what a great opportunity. Opens up the world to you, opened up her soccer world, opens up the rest of it. She can, continue and get her education, but the soccer education, as you can see, has just developed her really well.
And she and Heath have just been a dynamic duo in terms of scoring for the Thorns. Horan saying that she's always admired Heath so much, has watched her. Obviously, Heath played over in France.
Right, they played together, and that was the thing that really helped Horan get a little bit comfortable, is having that kind of mentor and someone that kind of helped her out, because she was 17, 18 at the time. That's really young. But the other interesting thing too is, from what I understand, is that there was a little reticence to bring her back from France to put her on these teams, as far as money concerns from the Federation. So, but she ended up deciding coming back and making a huge impact for the U.S. team. So it's all great education, great opportunities.
Horan's goal in the 27th minute, giving Portland the 1-0 lead. We're still obviously in the first half of this match at Providence Park, and here's Sinclair. Nadim! There's no flag up as LeBay comes out and is challenged by Nadim, and that ball finds the back of the net. 2-0 Thorns.
That again is up to Nadim's work rate. She is ready and always willing to go forward, chase anything down. If there's work to be done, she will do it. And just chasing that ball down doesn't give LeBay any room or space. So when she tries to clear it, she just gets in the way. That's what comes of it. That's where your hard work, you get to see your hard work paying off.
Nadim with her second goal of the season. And this one was all work, all hustle.
Great ball in from Sinclair, just puts it in that dangerous space. Just keeps coming. She just pressures. The fact that she's just going up there and pressuring. If she doesn't make that run, if Nairn doesn't make that run, Kleiner doesn't track her and is not in the way. So again, she basically kind of causes the difficulty that leads to a goal.
So the replay sure makes it look like an own goal to me. And there's the foul that's going to go against Sonnet. Nadim really forcing the issue there, and the yellow. So the own goal is put on the board for the Portland Thorns, and the Thorns will take it any way they can. Nadim forcing the issue, but LeBay knocks that right off of the defender.
She get pulled back a little bit on the foul, but I think she kind of made a meal out of that a little bit.
So here's Nairn. Washington coming into this match, Janine, having given up but one goal this entire season. That was the win against Sky Blue, 2-1. They're in unfamiliar territory, the Spirit, in terms of goals given up.
That last one is, I mean, it's unlucky for them, to be honest, but it's a good work rate out of the Thorns. It's a great ball in by Sinclair, and anytime you put people under pressure, things happen, and it did. But it's not, it's not to say that that's all going to continue to happen. But it is interesting that they've only had one goal scored. But this is the game that we expect it to be tough for both teams and to be good.
Heath brings it back into space for Sinclair. Allie tries to pull the trigger. Lots of defenders disrupting that play.
They're working very well together. There's some nice little interchanges, little balls back and forth to each other, and the patience of finding and picking out the player.
Sinclair making an immediate difference in that starting role.
She does. I think, people look for her, people count on her. She's that kind of steady rock that, whether she says much or not, people kind of feel that presence, and it gives them strength.
Great idea. Nairn trying to connect with Matheson, just a little long on that touch as Diana was streaking right down the middle.
That's a tough ball to play into Dagny. She doesn't really have a lot of speed, and Sinclair's trying to hit that ball over the top to split the defenders and send her in. She's just not quite fast enough to get through on that.
There's that direct style that Parsons figured Washington would go with quite a bit tonight, especially with some speedy folks in that mid and forward slot.
Right, so they're prepared for it, and they're watching for it, and they kind of see it as the game develops, if that continues to be the style or if it changes for the opponents and what they're trying to do.
Nadim again, just staying with the play, cuts it back. Allie turns and looks.
You know, it's not to say if you watch Washington play too, I mean, they're applying really good pressure to the Thorns. The nice thing is that the Thorns are moving the ball a little bit faster, I think, than they have been in the past. Good kind of quick 1- and 2-touch passing, finding each other. You know, they're not kind of holding on to the ball and waiting for it, but they know where each other are and then delivering it quickly.
Nothing. Thorns leading the Washington Spirit, the leading Spirit, here in the 36th minute. Horan got the Thorns on the board in the 27th minute, heading in the corner kick service from Heath, and then an own goal makes it 2-0. Nadim credited, obviously, with disrupting that play that eventually had LeBay knocking it off of her own defender. And that's where we stand, 2-0. Portland's defense so far, Janine, pretty darn tough.
Pretty good, you know, they've passed people off pretty well. They've allowed themselves to, you know, have a little bit of space and not get themselves in bad situations. Even the foul on the outside was, you know, kind of a soft foul, and so they've been doing a really good, solid job.
Dagny tackling from behind. She'll be whistled for that infraction, and quickly Washington gets it back in. Sink finding Nadim. Nadia with some room. Tackle. Horan with the hop. Flag goes up.
I won't argue the call from this angle, but I'd say that I don't know about that one.
You like the idea. Trying to time the run was Sinclair and company.
Yeah, she did. You see Zabrowski really asked them to step up a little bit, and that's what caught her off. So it was good, again, you know, good solid play by the Washington team.
Should have been a handball, but the ball stays with Portland, so we'll play on. Klingenberg with a lot of space. She's got Heath on that left flank. Instead, tries to thread the needle to Dagny. Nicely played by Zadorsky. This is where Dunn is so dangerous. She can take on a lot of players, but by committee, Portland dispossesses.
Showing a little bit of patience here, coming back into the play, kind of just backing out of it, open up, you know, use your backs, kind of move the ball around a little bit again. Still a little ball over the top, you know, we talked about that's, you know, a little direct, but I think, you know, Horan has such good touch, and she, you know, didn't play that ball too far in front of Dagny.
As explosive as Washington is, there's no way that Portland will sit on a 2-0 lead. Absolutely no way. And with the 2-0 lead, it's the most goals Portland has scored since that opener against Orlando right here at Providence Park, which Portland won 2-1.
It's nice, and it's in the first half, you know, I mean,
yeah,
it's well done by them. And again, capitalizing on situations, you know, the second goal, you know, they forced it. They put the ball in, and with that continual pressure, they're doing really well. Good team defending, and they weren't defending at the time, but as far as just always following the play, always being there and working hard.
One of the elements of Franch's game that she really is intent upon improving is distribution. Yeah. And as a keeper, you know, that's you just got to keep working, right?
Mark Parsons saying that, you know, she's doing well, and it's getting better and better. That she just kind of continues to grow and change, and you see that, you know, especially in that position. You learn more, and everybody does, but you get to see those different situations that you've never seen before and all that, and your experience just grows and grows. And I mean, she's got, you know, years and years to keep getting better.
couple of moments ago, again, something that won't show up in the stat sheet, but Menges goes right up with Dunn and plucks that header away from Dunn, really disrupts that play and allows Portland to avoid Dunn controlling and carrying. Little things like that will make a difference. Heath again, marked by Krieger. Heath cuts it back. Heath so clever. Into space, hoping to find Sinclair. Well, she did a great job losing Krieger, and then the service she'd love to have back.
Yeah, Heath worked super hard to get that ball in. I mean, just being able to watch that. And then the other nice thing is they're not going to score on everyone, but they're getting the numbers in the box as well. So they do have chances, and they are getting everybody up into the attack.
Sinclair has been in the mix quite a bit, whether passing or at least giving herself a chance near that 6 to be part of a scoring opportunity.
Yeah, she's got a nose for the goal, so she's going to put herself, again, same type of thing. She knows where it's going to be, and she's going to try to get herself there.
Spirit trying to build, and they do, carrying it into their offensive third. And here's Dunn. Nicely played by Klingenberg.
Just looked like you could see Klingenberg kind of retreating back on the play, watching, positioning yourself, not getting sucked into either player, but just waiting, and then ball gets passed off to Dunn, and she just steps over, blocks it. I mean, it's beautiful defending.
And that time it was Klingenberg and Heath able to dispossess Dunn. Whatever it takes. Dunn commanding that kind of defensive respect every time she's in the area. Stengel looks to turn and will leave it for Krieger. Here's Dunn.
It's kind of the rare time that Dunn has got the cross off past Klingenberg.
Dunn again with some room. Clipped by Heath. And the foul will go against Tobin.
A little bit overzealous tackle by Heath there, kind of sticking her leg into Dunn's legs. Causes the foul.
You see the moves Dunn possesses.
She kind of steps in, you know, and timing-wise, trying to go with the strength of the tackle because Dunn is such a strong player, but it's just a little bit, obviously, too much in the timing.
So another dangerous situation for the Thorns defense. Washington looking to get on the board here in the 43rd minute. Line drive knocked off a sink, so Nairn and company will reload. Matheson joins her.
You can see the Thorns getting backed up to the 10-yard mark.
Corner for Washington. Franch barking out orders. This hit there, no doubt about it.
Again, it's interesting the Thorns aren't leaving anybody up on those corners for transition.
Dagny looking to see if she can get lucky like Nadim did in terms of forcing a Washington miscue. What a beautiful ball. Franch coming off her line.
That's a little bit what Mark Parsons was talking about, you know, that ball kind of forward. It was coming from the keeper, but she hits it well. Krieger, a nice little outside of the foot to play to Dunn, and then, you know, get slotted in from Matheson. I mean, it's just, that's some really good quick transition soccer.
'44th minute, Heath leaving it. Nadim trying to stay with that. It was poked away. So here's Horan.
Just kind of ran out of field of that one. Horan was thinking she had maybe 20 more yards on the end of the field.
Long was hanging.
Yeah.
And to no avail.
Unfortunately, she just have to change her service just a little bit, make it a little bit higher, a little bit more arced, or or kind of give her a different kind of ball that's going to stay in and allow her to run on.
45th minute, 2-0, Thorns leading the Washington Spirit. We know that New York was leading big over Sky Blue. So right now, if that lead holds, the Flash will go to 9 points in terms of the point total. And the Thorns entering this match at 9 points. 3 would be huge. And I don't want to get ahead of myself.
All right, let's just focus on this then.
Calm down, Ann. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the official on the sideline indicated earlier, we're going to go 1 minute at a time in the first half.
1 minute of stoppage time. The rain's holding off at the moment. A chilly night, but a great night for soccer. As far as the fans and women on the pitch. A little cue ball.
It's a great ball.
Heave!
Oh, we've got to see this one again. Such a great ball by Christine St. Clair with the outside of her foot bent to get past the defender. So Dagny dropped lower and plays to Sinclair. Sinclair's able to play with the outside of her foot. Nice little touch from Tobin, follows up. Again, that hard work, follows it. She gets the goal.
Heath with all those assists. Well, now she's got a goal.
Great job with the Thorns. I noticed that Dagny had dropped a little lower and Sink pressed up higher in that last run, which was interesting and kind of, I think the combination allowed Sink to be in the right place to kind of play that final ball in. As she saw Tobin running.
So barely beating the 1 minute stoppage time is the beautiful ball. That cue ball from Sinclair to her pal Heath, who stays with it and scores to give Portland a 3-0 lead at half. Portland comes into this match having scored 5 goals total, and they've got 3 tonight to lead league-leading Washington 3-0 at the half.
What an exciting end to that half. That
Man,
is unbelievable. That shows you some of the creativity if you're looking at touches.
Joining us now, Portland head coach Mark Parsons. Mark, holy smokes, you guys with the flurry, you've got to be happy with that first half.
I think really happy with a lot of the defensive work, and offensively we could have had a couple of more quality chances. There were still some things that were sneaking in there, and I don't want to get carried away with the scoreline. There's things that we talked about with the back four. One of the moments that we talked about happened, and it led to a yellow card to a centre-back. We've talked about not taking risks in those areas. I think the first 5-10 minutes of the second half is going to be big because they're going to come out with a bang. I think if we can deal with that like we dealt with the first 10 minutes, and then we can get more control and hopefully create more quality chances.
Mark, thanks so much for taking the time. Good luck the rest of the way. Cheers. That's Thorns head coach Mark Parsons. He's got to like what he sees on that scoreboard. The Thorns leading the Spirit 3-0. We're at halftime, and our KeyBank halftime show will commence when we come back. Haran got things started. Heath with the assist, and then a goal. What a game for Tobin and the Thorns so far. It's 3-0 at the break.
Now order online at papamurphys.com and get 25% off all pizzas. In other words, order online for a 25% price cut. Order online to slice 25% off the cost of your pizzas. Or order online to shred 25% off your Papa Murphy's pizza bill. It's a great deal. Any way you slice it. Enter code SAVE25 at checkout and save 25% off all Papa Murphy's pizzas. PapaMurphys.com. Love at 425 degrees.
The world is a curious place, full of puzzles still waiting to be solved. Stonehenge, the pyramids, Easter Island, and today, another enigma rises out of the clouds. Who is the face on the tail?
There's do-it-yourself health, and then there's times when you need more. Introducing Providence Express Care. Get a same-day visit for the things you just can't treat at home. The sore throat that won't quit, that soccer sprain, the stomach ache that no pink drink can settle. We're here for you 7 days a week with extended hours to suit your life. Want fast care from folks who know health? That's Providence Express Care. Find the location nearest you today at providenceexpresscare.org.
Hi, I'm looking for my first Toyota.
The Corolla is a great choice.
It's super reliable, so it'll be with you for a lot of firsts. Wow, I'm really going places.
In a Corolla, right?
During Toyota time, get 0.9% APR financing for 72 months on a reliable 2016 Corolla. Offer ends May 31st. For great deals on other Toyotas, visit Toyota.com.
First things first, your keys.
Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome to the KeyBank Halftime Show. We're at Providence Park in Portland, Oregon. The Thorns leading Washington 3-0 at the midway point. Thorns newcomer Lindsey Horan has made an immediate impact for this club. She's got a goal tonight. She has been terrific. I'll tell you though, Lindsey looks at an experience where this is a brand new team, brand new city, brand new league. How Lindsey Horan got to the Portland Thorns, not a conventional story at all. From Paris to Portland, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Lindsey Horan, so delighted to have you in Portland. But let's get to know you a little bit and how you got here. Growing up in suburbs of Denver, you knew at a young age you wanted to be a professional, so you say no to the University of North Carolina. It's one thing to say, you know, Anson Dorrance, I don't think so, but how did you convince your mom and dad that it was going to be okay to go over to France and play professionally there at the age of 18?
Well, I mean, first of all, my parents are the most supportive people in the world, and I can't thank them enough because I think a lot of kids' parents would not even allow the discussion of that. And I for sure, my dad, more so than anyone, pushed back so hard. All college, you know, he did not want me to give up that scholarship, and so did my mom, but you know, they were both so supportive. And in the end, when I made the decision, they were just happy that I made the decision. And I can't thank them enough because really a lot of parents wouldn't let that happen.
So you're over there, you get to know the style of play, you get to know the city. Did you feel like a fish out of water, or was it one of those deals where you kept thinking to yourself, you know, I'm getting this professionally, I'm getting this personally, this is working for me on and off the pitch?
I think the first 3 months that I was there, I did feel like a fish out of water, and maybe because I was young and culture was so different, I didn't know the language, and I wasn't really trying so hard to learn the language because I was just, you know, missing home and missing my friends and whatever. But as time went on and I got more comfortable and I made friends there, and even when Tobin came, you know, things were so much easier for me, and then I really, you know, got that fire back.
So you come to Portland, is there a little bit of shock going on as you get to know our culture here in the Rose City, or are you thinking, I like the fit here?
It's weird. Portland is so much like Paris, just with the culture aspect, with the soccer. You know, everything in Paris is about soccer, and it's such a cool culture when, you know, that's your passion. And that's what I love about here. Everyone knows soccer, and I think that's the coolest thing from going there to here. Like, you're not losing that. And even here we have more fans coming to the game than we did in PSG at our Champions League games, and that's nothing against them, but it's so cool that you have that, you know, for the Timbers and then for the Thorns. That's awesome, and I think it's really good for this league.
Lindsey Horan with a goal tonight. She just keeps on going, her third of the season. Thorns leading Washington 3-0. Halftime highlights with Janine next when our KeyBank Halftime Show continues.
Hi, I'm looking for my first Toyota.
The Corolla is a great choice.
It's super reliable, so it'll be with you for a lot of firsts. Wow, I'm really going places.
In a Corolla, right?
During Toyota time, get 0.9% APR financing for 72 on a reliable 2016 Corolla. Offer ends May 31st. For great deals on other Toyotas, visit Toyota.com.
First things first, your keys.
Toyota, let's go places.
The world is a curious place, full of puzzles still waiting to be solved. Stonehenge, the pyramids, Easter Island, and today, another enigma rises out of the clouds. Who is the face on the tail?
This car wasn't made in Detroit, or Tokyo, or Mexico City. This, the Mini Clubman, was crafted in Oxford, England, a place where mass production isn't all that massive. And each car is engineered, customized, tuned, and crafted one at a time. Introducing the new Mini Clubman, made in Oxford.
Mini of Portland, proud sponsor of the Portland Thorns and Timbers 2. We make it fun.
There's do-it-yourself health, and then there's times when you need more. Introducing Providence Express Care. Get a same-day visit for the things you just can't treat at home. The sore throat that won't quit, that soccer sprain, the stomach ache that no pink drink can settle. We're here for you 7 days a week with extended hours to suit your life. Want fast care from folks who know health? That's Providence Express Care. Find the location nearest you today at providenceexpresscare.org.
Welcome back to Providence Park. Our KeyBank halftime show continues. The Thorns leading Washington 3-0. We're at the half. Ann and Janine, delighted to have you with us tonight at Providence Park in the Rose City. Portland has really dominated, and Mark Parsons bemoans a couple of scoring chances going by the wayside, but a 3-0 lead, pretty healthy.
Right, and the nice thing is that he's just after it, you know, and that constant, that pressure and that desire to do better and find those things keeps the team honest, right? We usually say that 2-0 is the most dangerous score, but we've seen some crazy things in the league, right? And we've talked about 3-3 games. So you don't want to go into halftime thinking, hey, this is great, we're done.
Okay.
Those three were scored in the 45 minutes. So you've got 45 more, you've got to be ready for it.
So speaking of Dunn, Crystal Dunn had a big target on her back. The Portland Thorns defense doing a really nice job against one of the most dynamic players on the planet. And this is them just getting after it and tag teaming Crystal right here.
You can see her just split those two defenders. She's dangerous.
Scoring opportunities coming early on.
Great quick turn from Dagny to put that on goal.
LeBay with the nifty save, but Horan gets Portland on the board.
She's in the right place. She takes one step back and just hits it with her head.
See another look here. Horan's third goal of the season.
Right place, right time, right finish.
Crowd loving that.
Such a nice little touch in behind her back. Passes up top. And she didn't get a hold of it, but again, just the quickness of the play is really good.
Here's the own goal. Nadim really forcing the issue.
Great ball in from St. Clair. Again, that pressure that Nadim is putting on it just creates that really difficult situation for the keeper and the back.
LeBay right off of Kleiner, so it's 2-0.
Look at these feet. Somebody try to put it in slow motion because otherwise you can't even see it. And a nice little ball in.
So Sinclair making her first start. Here's the great assist to Heath.
Outside of her foot, bends it, catches the defender a little bit off balance, goes off the goalkeeper, a little bit of a follow-up from Tobin to just finish it. Again, hard work pays off.
That was just a great angle as Heath, who leads the league in assists with her first goal of the season. That was in stoppage time, folks, giving Portland a healthy 3-0 lead. They haven't enjoyed a lead like this all season long.
Well done by the Thorns. Built in a little bit into the half. I think Washington had a few more chances earlier. We're kind of pressing a little bit more. But Thorns found their rhythm, went up, went in, and looked really good.
So 3-0 Thorns. We're moments away from the second half kickoff. Come on back.
Now order online at papamurphys.com and get 25% off all pizzas. In other words, order online for a 25% price cut. Order online to slice 25% off the cost of your pizzas. Or order online to shred 25% off your Papa Murphy's pizza bill. It's a great deal, any way you slice it. Enter code SAVE25 at checkout and save 25% off all Papa Murphy's pizzas. PapaMurphys.com. Love at 425 degrees.
The world is a curious place, full of puzzles still waiting to be solved. Stonehenge, the pyramids, Easter Island, and today, another enigma rises out of the clouds. Who is the face on the tail?
There's do-it-yourself health, and then there's times when you need more. Introducing Providence Express Care. Get a same-day visit for the things you just can't treat at home. The sore throat that won't quit, that soccer sprain, the stomach ache that no pink drink can settle. We're here for you 7 days a week with extended hours to suit your life. Want fast care from folks who know health? That's Providence Express Care. Find the location nearest you today at providenceexpresscare.org.
Get cold.
Here at Providence Park, the Thorns leading Washington 3-0. Take that. Mark Parsons got to be happy with the 3-0 lead that his club is enjoying over league-leading Washington. Anything about the stats jump out at you?
No, not really. I mean, the Thorns did have more shots than Washington did, which is a surprise from the beginning of the game. But when you look at it, you know, again, like I said, they built into that first half and then really finished strong, so they did have more opportunities.
So we're seconds away from being underway here at Providence Park in terms of the second half of this NWSL match. Portland has done most of its scoring, Janine, in the second half. This first half explosion really goes against the trend that Portland and the Thorns fans have seen the beginning of this season.
Well, it's nice that, you know, they have a lot of opportunities often in the first half, but they're you know, getting something out of it, which is the best part. So it's nice to see that, you know, you talked before about how many goals they had. They, you know, didn't have very many goals, and they're coming in and they're scoring these. So, you know, they're going to take them when they come. They're trying to create these, and they always do have good creative opportunities. But this time they've really, you know, finished them.
Should mention that there's a new starter for the Washington Spirit, Estefania Benini, the Argentinian. She wears number 10, will start for Washington. Sink with the one hop to LeBay. No problem there for the Canadian.
Again, nice to look forward from the beginning. You know, a minute into the game, and Sinclair is looking at goal.
Sink again making her first start of the season. And she has been in the mix, no doubt about it. Again, Dunn.
Looks like Dunn came out a little fired up.
The Thorns defense, any defense on the planet is going to understand, in this league anyway, that Dunn is a constant danger. Her assists have been really wonderful to see this year. She has yet to find the back of the net. That is just obviously a matter of time. Dangerous ball. Here's Nairn. Beautiful
nice
ball.
Bent ball in.
Oh, boy.
Great concentration from France to hold on to that ball, to see it all the way in, hold on to it, go down even after the contact with her. But she didn't bobble it. She didn't do anything. She just caught it, went straight down nice and safely.
Stengel was right there. French felt her coming, and AD made the nice play. That was a beautiful ball by Nairn. And Stengel was in the right place at the right time. So you got to make that split-second decision, Janine. You're a former keeper for the U.S. national team. I mean, literally split-second, right?
Well, it's a little bit, it's brave. You know, what it is it's doing your job, which is what you're supposed to do, but going in, even though pressure is coming on you, you kind of see someone out of the corner of your eye. But the nice thing is she was able to concentrate, get it, and be brave enough to hold on. It's just you get ready for it and you take the hit.
Lohman wide with that shot. Literally, Dunn had two Portland players colliding and going down with that fancy footwork. And Dunn was able to get the cross off, but wide on the attempt from Lohman. So I guess timing and bravery, of course, with the great skill set, got to have that kind of stuff going on if you're a keeper at this level.
You would hope, and you can't teach it either. That's one of the things you kind of got to bring to the table on your own.
Washington coming out very fired up offensively.
That's a little Heath versus Krieger on the outside. Oh, and Dunn. Let's put someone else in the mix.
Look at that ball. Sinclair loses it. Nicely played by Oyster. What a ball by Heath. Sink just losing the touch. Look at Heath. Right through Lohman. Heath dancing and leaving it out wide.
It's again switching sides for the Thorns, you know, trying to look for that extra space and not just going ahead or being too direct.
Klingenberg with the pop-up. Dagny with the header right at LeBay.
Unfortunately, she couldn't quite see that LeBay was coming off and, you know, thought that she could kind of get it around her. But, you know, again, good positioning by the keeper.
Thought for a second maybe LeBay was in no man's land. But right place at the right time as that ball struck right at her. 3-0. We're just starting the second half here at Providence Park. The Rains have let up. Cool, chilly night, perhaps for the fans if they didn't bundle up, but the players have got to be loving it. Mid-50s, rain again subsiding, and wind's not a factor either. LeBay as Oyster and Dagny meeting at the same time, but Stephanie's there, way off her line.
Good defending from Oyster. You know, he's again trying to give a little bit of different texture on that ball, trying to play Dagny in, and just too tight of pressure against. Great job by Megan Oyster.
Heath has just been relentless. She and Krieger have been so much fun to watch. Switching fields. And here's Kleiner. Long, this is where Lohman's dangerous. Reynolds in the right place at the right time to deny Bonini.
Great footwork from Nadim. That's just really well done to like be patient, keep the ball, work your way out, and try to find something that's safe.
Fill up your tank with 8 gallons of gas or more at any participating 76 station and get 2 tickets to an upcoming Thorns game for the price of 1. Okay, let's not all rush the field at once, folks. That's a great deal. For full details, go to thornsfc.com/76 while supplies last. Speaking of healthy players, Bonini had that knee injury, missed most of last year. Really good to see the Argentinian back on the pitch.
Again, another person with great experience. You know, she played 4 years professionally in Chile. Started with the Argentinian team. Her first match was in 2010. So, you know, she's got great things to offer this team, and it seems like coach is going, Jim Gabarra is going to their bench, trying to find a little bit more attacking player, trying to make up that 3-goal difference. And they've come out well. Washington has come out, been very aggressive. They've tried, you know, been off sides, tried to play the ball in. They've gotten through a couple of times. So, I mean, they're trying to raise their game and, like I said, erase that 3-goal deficit.
Janine mentioned the 3-goal deficit, 3-0 Thorns against this Washington club that came into this match having given up 1 goal the entire year. That's great defense by Heath. Look at that tackle. Comes up with that and just flicks it to Long. Comes up, and here comes Heath. What a sequence by Tobin.
Great job by Crystal Dunn trying to track back a little bit and slow her down. But going through Sinclair and then Long, great switching the point of attack.
Ball inside the 18, Dagny. I'm not sure if she thought someone else was behind her. Didn't leap for the header.
I think she might have tried to redirect it a little bit,
okay.
But you know, for me, it's kind of an interesting thought because she's at the top of the 18 with not very much power on the ball. So, kind of an interesting choice.
Sinclair sizing up what the defense has given her and just sends it right back to Nadim. Zadorsky sends it out of bounds, so it'll be a Thorns throw in here in the 54th minute. Last year, these two clubs here in Portland played to a 3-3 tie. Just an explosive game that had a huge crowd just going bonkers.
I think that might be Washington's plan at the moment, is to kind of recapture some of the past scoring.
Matheson just making things happen. Shoots it out wide. Here's Stengel. Portland's defense gets organized. So here's Oyster on this near sideline for Krieger. Klingenberg, the strength of Dunn. What a ball by Dunn! Look at that! And the finish by Lohman. Dunn with yet another assist, and Washington is on the board. That was nifty.
That was really hard work from Crystal Dunn trying to go against Klingenberg. Here you can see the two just battling. Gets that ball in. And again, you know, Lohman, she's been pressing forward from the beginning of the half, and they've kind of switched more to a 4-2-3-1, pushing players higher up the field, trying to get it, and it pays off for Washington.
What a pass by Dunn, and the finish for Lohman. Her 3rd goal of the year, and the first sub of the night as Sinclair comes off. She was really, really impactful. And onto the pitch is newly acquired Meg Morris.
She's an exciting young player, and she's gonna do a great job for them. And you can see where Mark Parsons talked about playing Sinclair for a certain amount of minutes. And so with all the work she's done, she's been super mobile today, trying to take care of her and make sure that she comes back from that ankle injury.
10:30 a.m. means nothing anymore. You asked for it, you got it. All-day breakfast is finally here at your locally owned McDonald's. So Dunn with yet another assist. She's got 4 now to lead this club. Trails only Heath in the assist department in league play, as Tobin's got an assist and a goal tonight. But Washington right away, right back in this, Janine.
They are, you know, and now it's back to that 2-0 game that we were talking about.
Klingenberg. Look at that! And Nadim, that's when she wants back. What a ball by Klingenberg. Nadim running onto it and missed it.
I tell you, I don't know how you can't get excited watching this. Nice little touch from Morris. Klingenberg coming down the line. She's always got great service, plays that ball in. Just didn't quite get the angle of her foot that she wanted to kind of get that ball bent in with that power.
Heck of a service by Klingenberg, and you're right, Morris got that whole thing started with the little flick pass. And here's Dunn. Leaving it for Bonini. Back to Dunn. And cleared by Sonnet.
You can see she's getting a little bit, Dunn is getting a little bit more active coming in from the right side, cutting across and trying to work a little bit harder and creating things.
You get the feeling that this is a crowd on edge that would like to see 1 or 2 more goals as Dunn has picked it up. Ball belongs to the Thorns.
There's all these really interesting touches that if you watch Lindsey Horan, if you watch Nadim take, if you look at Tobin Heath, the kind of things they do with the ball is just, you know, really very patient, very interesting. They read the player, the way they're coming on really well, and able to take, and they're very subtle, just these little tiny touches, but instead of hitting it into someone, they're smart enough, they're experienced enough to kind of go around people.
Damian in the house. Lillard and some of his pals here. Yeah. What a playoff run that Lillard and the Blazers had.
Yeah.
That's great
to
that
see
they're
them
here.
Representing the town. Right on.
Dame.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Place goes nuts.
Sports town, that's what it is.
'Tis the season. Morris.
Showing a little bit of her speed there.
Well, and gets a yellow right away as she runs into LeBay. I'm not sure if she just couldn't stop in time or if that was just a little chippy.
I think her feet got a little faster than she was ready for, and just couldn't. She kind of slipped a little. I don't think she meant to do that. I tell you, if that young woman meant to do it, I think that keeper might be not standing up right now.
So Morris, who starts, or excuse me, comes on in place of Sinclair, gets booked.
I wonder what it's like to have that much speed that you really can't control. I honestly think that her feet just slipped.
Acquired by the Thorns in late April, started against Seattle. Last time out, had an assist, did Morris. I don't know what Gabera said to his club, but this is a group of pros, and they are determined, are the spirit, to get back into this thing. Nadim not quitting on the play. Now that's the chippy stuff. So Nadim and Marin are going chest to chest there. Let's see what happens. Remember when these clubs played the first time earlier this month? All the cautions coming out. So Ekaterina Koroleva given the yellow. I'm gonna make sure of this to both players.
Both players, I believe.
Okay.
I think she's just trying to take a little control and make sure it doesn't get out of hand. And again, you know, Washington's they're really playing hard. They're playing for their season. They want to represent their first place showing in the league, and so, you know, they're fighting pretty hard. They get a little bit tied up. You know, it's a little bit unfortunate in that those kind of passions come out.
So what we've been told right now is that both players have been carded, as you thought, Janine, and the yellows have been coming out in this match, especially in the second half.
Yeah, you know, and I hate to argue with things, you know. In that one, like I said, I think they just got tied up, and then a little bit of frustration from there, and she's trying to hold her ground. Nadim is on the ground and not wanting to be, you know, taken advantage of. And I think it's just one of those things that people kind of get excited about. And as far as their passions coming out for the game, both very passionate, hardworking players. So, you know, I think the referee just trying to say, hey, look, let's calm this down a little bit. Let's just keep control and let's play.
It was 3-0 at half, Thorns. Dunn's nifty service to Lohman, the header on that back post, beating French. Now makes it 3-1, and here's Dunn.
So impressive, slashing across the middle. Crystal Dunn, what a great player.
Kleiner, beautiful ball there. And Allie just content to clear it. Tracked down by Oyster. Here comes Washington again.
There you go, Meg Morris, making her effect felt on the field. You know, you put her in, and what is she able to do? She's fresh, she's fast, she's able to chase down, add pressure, and ends up getting a turnover, and the Thorns get the ball.
Morris, who played in the 9 games for Sky Blue last year, again, a late signee in April by the Thorns. And Parsons has put her to work.
It's a good see. That's what adds dimension. It kind of is a release valve a little bit for your team as well, is that you have that target up there. You can hit the ball too. She can hold it. She's, you know, a strong player, and she's fast. So not only could she hold it, but if she has the chance, she can kind of turn and go, which hopefully, you know, for the Thorns keeps the Washington team honest.
Morris heading it over to Dagny. Krieger plays it well, but Long is there. Allie staying with it. Morris again. Crowd appreciating the effort by number 44. Nadeem loses it. Stengel will carry. Look at the sliding tackle by Horan. Nicely played.
Again, they continue with very good team defense on the Thorns.
You mentioned it. It's collective, it's organized, and it's by committee.
And it has to be, too. I mean, this is a talented Washington team. You can't, and it's not just done. You know, she's good, and I mean, she's a world-class player. She's awesome. But this team is solid. Washington is a very good side.
I'm impressed by Washington's resilience to not just figure, well, this thing is done at 3-0 at halftime. They have come out with a bounce in their step. Stengel, tag team by Menges and company.
You know, Washington is led by a professional coach. I mean, this gentleman has been coaching, I mean, so long that he was coaching when I was playing. So that's how long he's been coaching in the league. So, you know, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to lead a group. He knows what they need. And he also played the game. So, I mean, he's got a great background. And who else, you know, could, I mean, he has them in first and, you know, and basically set them up during halftime to come out to have a really good second half so far.
Roman tried to climb the ladder for another header opportunity. Gobert was a really good player in his day, playing the 1988 Seoul Olympics for the United States. Smart play here. Here's Matheson. Roman letting it go. Done with the quick turn. Keith and Krieger. Look at Tobin. The angle was perfect. Dagny mishit there. She had Klingenberg on this near flank, but Krieger with the easy pick.
Yeah, a little bit hard, you know. Dagny doesn't have the speed to kind of get up there and challenge anything, but let's see her do a little bit better job holding the ball and keeping it to kind of relieve a little of the pressure and making sure that the flow of the game is going in the Thorns' favor.
Right back to Franch. Kleiner, a little miscommunication there by darn near everybody. Registration for the Portland Thorns FC Youth Soccer Camps is now open. Ideal for kids 5 to 13 years old. The camps feature an incredible 12-to-1 player-to-coach ratio. Visit timbers.com/camps to sign up. Done. One more touch. Stepping through is Reynolds. Nairn brings it back. Nairn holds. Nicely played by Klingenberg.
Nairn is deceptively quick.
Yes, she is.
I mean, the speed at which she releases the ball is really unbelievable.
Nairn, a fixture in this Spirit lineup. They've been to the playoffs the last 2 years as Washington, losing to Seattle in the semis both times. Look at Dunn.
I tell you, Klingenberg just doesn't look phased, you know? I mean, she's going against a great player, you know, a teammate of hers. She knows what she can do. You know, they respect each other. And she just kind of, like, does it, you know? Doesn't make a big deal out of it. She's just like, yeah, okay, I'm done. I stopped you. All right, now goal kick.
Well, expectations are so huge for Kling. Obviously, after what she did at the 2015 World Cup, and a star rising without a doubt. Beautiful job by Morris again. Nadeem trying to turn the corner. And Again, Morris with some nice touch passes. And another substitution as Shayna Williams looks to come onto the pitch for Stengel. Williams, who won the part of the Florida State 2014 collegiate title.
Yeah, she was the seventh pick in the 16 draft, so she comes in with a good resume as well.
She played college ball with Dagny, and they won that 2014 title together.
Great program at Florida State.
It's kind of fun for these two reuniting on the pitch.
Yeah, kind of finish, continue, not finish, but continue your career.
Ball kind of ping-ponging, and Bonini is controlling into space for Kleiner. '69th minute, no problem for Franch there.
Nice to see her show the patience and let their players get up the field and have some targets instead of being really excited, having the ball and kind of pressing the pace. I mean, you don't have to when you're up. You want to be in control of the rhythm, the flow of the game, and make sure that you're not trying to force something without, people to help you out.
So Janine, Heath's goal comes in stoppage time. How much did that deflate Washington for a spell and really give Portland some breathing room, or is that way too early even to talk about breathing room?
If you answer the question by the way they came out, it didn't affect them too badly. You kind of got two ways. I always think of two ways you can go with something. You can be really deflated, or you can be really mad. And they seem to have kind of used it a little bit, like, okay, let's get this going, because they've answered it. They've come out well. So apparently it didn't do them too much damage. It's harder to come out of or come back from.
Foul here.
Just kind of clipped her foot a little bit.
Unlucky for Oyster, and Dagny asking for the foul and finally gets it. So this is a good opportunity for the Portland Thorns. Obviously, a fourth goal looks awfully big here in the 71st minute. 3-0 at half, Portland. Washington slices into that on a Lohman header. 3-1 now is where we stand here at Providence Park.
Yeah, you got a nice little discussion going on about what they're going to choose to do, so it'll be exciting to see what these two come up with.
So Heath and Long have a chat, as Janine said, and here's Tobin. Let's see who crashes for the Thorns.
I say she just bends it near post.
Near post, ooh.
Yeah, have a go at it, right over the wall. Hard to tell at this angle. It's got to hit it just a little bit faster to get the speed for that ball to kind of dip down.
Heath, who has an assist and a goal. The goal we just mentioned in stoppage time in the first half that had this place on its feet. Done.
I like the energy that Meg Morris has brought to this field. She was a great sub, I think.
Bonini now taking on Cat. Bonini
got a little bit lucky, and that ball didn't quite curve the way she wanted it to.
And speaking of instant energy, Bonini has been very good for Gabera to start this second half, as Haley Rasso is set to come in for the Thorns.
Looks like she'll give Nadim a break. Kind of see what she brings to the table. She's also another one that's done, great in her career. So see what she adds to the Thorns tonight.
Rasso signed off of waivers, played for the Spirit and Mark Parsons last year. Part of the Australian national team is Rasso. Fresh legs on the pitch as Heath goes flying. Play on. I like it. Kling, nice touch to Haran, who got up slowly moments ago. A little too aggressive there. Whistle will go against the Spirit.
I think it'd be nice to see the Thorns just possess a little bit more. They've got these great midfielders, great players all around that can kind of move the ball around and keep it. You know, Washington is pressing well. They've got a lot of movement. They've got these players that are, you know, trying to go forward. They just kind of keep it away from them a little bit, make them work a little bit harder to try to keep that pressure up, and it might just end up making them a little bit tired.
Morris running onto it. Keeps the ball alive and will send it right back to Reynolds. Lofted, long, parried over the bar by LeBay. Nifty save as Long was so close to her first goal of the season.
She just got a piece of that. She hit it really nicely on target. Good ball into the mix. Long just comes up. That thing's going in. One little step. Good concentration from LeBay.
LeBay has made some theatrical, spectacular saves tonight.
Just a little bit too high for Horan to get behind it. Looks like it skimmed over the top of her head.
Look at Dunn, dispossessed. Grasso trying to come up with it. Good hustle by Heath. Attendance just under 16,000. 15,823 on a chilly beginning of the match, rainy night. As Morris is whistled for another foul, Dunn goes tumbling. The Thorns, who lead this league in attendance every year. Quick restart by the Spirit, good call.
Yeah, Orlando turning in really good numbers for attendance, right? And so I think that Portland's like, this is just Portland. We don't care if there's a little, I don't know, moisture in the air. We'll come out and watch the game, of course, for the team.
Well, and everybody's so excited about seeing the Thorns for the first time in over a month.
It's like another starting, isn't it? Yeah.
That season and home opener seems like forever ago. And if the Thorns here in the 76th minute, there's still a long way to go. If this score holds, or at least the advantage, the Spirit will still have the 13 points, but Portland will inch ever closer. Dunn's fired up.
A little bit of a hard tackle. Yeah, I think she's going to get carded for that one.
So Horan carded.
Have a little mistouch and just tries to make up for it by coming and trying to get the ball, but maybe missed it a little bit.
Well, in the first match, scoreless tie at the Maryland Soccer Complex. Portland was booked with 5 yellows. I believe Washington had the 1. Heath obviously sent off that game. And Portland's bookings starting to pile up a little bit, Janine.
They are, you know, and you have to know how many you have or what you're on and be a little bit careful with it. But again, you know, hopefully this game stays in control. We don't get too out of control. I think that's part of it too. I mean, that was definitely a card. Horan deserved that one, and need to pay a little bit more attention. And Mark addressed that at halftime as well.
By our count, 4 yellows against Portland tonight, 1 against the Spirit. Beautiful ball.
Great
and dangerous.
turn by Dunn.
Look at Klingenberg though. And Williams did a really nice job inside the 18, but Klingenberg just cutting off the angle.
I could just watch those two. I mean, if we just had, you know, 1v1, just great soccer.
Williams with the turn there, and here comes Klingenberg on the angle.
So quick, such good, you know, so again, both these teams, quality players all the way through.
Williams and Benini have brought a lot of energy off the sidelines for this Washington club, and same with Meg Morris, but Morris is going to have to be careful. Morris has a chance, 1v1. Meg Morris with her first goal of the season.
Such a great finish with the outside of her foot. I I tell you, you just end up being in awe. The young woman's worked hard, done a great job, just slips in behind that defender, takes a good touch, finishes it with the outside of her foot. What excitement that is from her.
Look at Morris celebrating. Known as a defender, but obviously the foot speed, very clever on that goal. Yeah, fellas, how do you like me now? What a huge goal to make it 4-1, Janine. 79th minute, that is a big one.
Yeah, it means a lot in a couple of different ways. One, you know, specifically for this game, but also shows you the pieces that the Thorns have, you know, when they change people in, when you see these other players who you haven't seen or not as familiar with, what they can add to the team. There's no real drop-off or this big kind of change.
Just a great finish by Morris. LeBay had no chance but to come out and try to cut down the angle, and Morris didn't panic.
She hit it well. Chose the right surface, had the right bend, found the side net. I mean, it was just a great touch.
Morris with that assist against Seattle. Last time out, comes off the bench and finds the back of the net for her first career goal for the Thorns. Oh boy, Matheson.
Maybe feeling the pressure a little bit, didn't quite get in the right position for that ball.
Shayna Williams with a great ball that Matheson just mishit as Mana Shim looks to report into the Thorns lineup, and it looks like Farquharson for Washington. So Haran will come off gingerly. She's had a goal, has Haran, but she was banged up. Looked like kind of a groin situation during this second half. So Shim comes onto the pitch. Oyster off. Farquharson, the rookie out of Arizona State, on. And a scoring threat is Farquharson. Follow the Thorns with flights to over 40 cities. Alaska Airlines serves from Portland, including Boston, Dallas, and 4 LA area airports. For Alaska's lowest prices, visit alaskaair.com. Janine, you know there's some scoreboard watching as far as the Chicago Red Stars are concerned. They go into tomorrow's match with 10 points, and they're pulling for the Thorns all the way tonight. Because obviously if the Red Stars can defeat a banged-up Seattle club, well, you're looking at the new team atop the table.
Yeah, they get a little closer, so nothing like, you know, trying to take care of your own business and see how they react tomorrow to see what they want out of it as well.
Thorns fans are looking at what they hope is a lead that holds here in the 82nd minute. 3 coveted and precious points for the Thorns would give them 12. Just one behind the Spirit. And again, the Thorns would stay undefeated this season so far.
And it's great to come off after such a successful road trip and a long road trip. They were gone for a long time. To answer like this, that they're not tired or that hasn't taken everything out of them, is huge.
Parsons talked about the fact that, you know, on that road trip, obviously game after game after game away from the friendly confines, the stress level that it takes on your body and mentally, but the Thorns staying with it and picking up points each and every match.
It's a good showing. Obviously it's a really, like I said, it's a good showing for this game, and it's a good showing for what they can do and what they have done and what they're doing after like the most demanding trip of the season.
Washington's trying to stay close.
Throwing numbers forward.
You bet. Why not? Williams with the bullet right at French. Player down. And it looks like Williams. Yes.
Yeah,
oh gosh.
I think Sonnet just kind of slid a little bit into her ankle. I think she might have rolled her ankle.
Trainer out, as Williams has been really solid off the bench for Gabera. So Janine, the Thorns jump out to the 3-0 lead at halftime. Washington gets back in it on Lohman's header, but then Meg Morris, coming off the bench in a defensive role, ends up really putting the goal on the board moments ago that might put this thing to bed.
Yeah, well, they're hoping so. And, you know, the nice thing is that they scored the 3 in the first half, great sign, and scored again in the second half. You know, those are all good indications of what they can do and what their mentality is. Just like for Washington, I mean, you know, they scored the 1. They haven't got another one yet. They still might. They're still pressing. They're still doing a great job. You know, it's just, I think it's a really good insight into what these teams offer and what they have. And not only their starting players, but they've subbed. They've made multiple subs at this point. And, you know, and the game is still good. It's still going. They're still pressing. So it really is good to see and so fun to watch. And we knew that heading in. We knew that this game was going to be a tough one, right? 2 undefeated teams.
Man.
Right? And so it really is. It's nice that they kind of deliver what we thought it was going to be.
So Shayna Williams is helped to her feet, but goes right back down in a lot of pain. And Naren is right there to assist. Matheson and Naren, boy, those veterans for Washington. Clutch and class all the way.
Getting a stretcher signal from the referee.
I hate to see that, as Williams didn't want to put any weight on it at all.
I think it was a little bit wet, and as far as, you know, being not used to it, but sometimes it's just harder to get your footing on it a little bit. And I think Sonnet slid a little bit sideways and kind of rolled that ankle or the bottom part of her leg a little bit sideways. So I'm hoping it's just a little tweak. You know, it just doesn't feel good for the moment that she'll be able to come back and, and be okay. You know.
So Shayna Williams will come off the pitch with the help of a stretcher. Over 15,000 giving Williams a hand. She has been a spark without a doubt off the bench for the Spirit tonight.
She's giving Klingenberg a run for her money on the outside. She's turned the corner a couple of times and just did a really great job.
So we'll obviously wish the best for that young lady.
Of course.
We're going to obviously have a bunch of stoppage time in this match. And Williams' shot was right on frame, but right at Franch. But then buckled on contact and had to be taken off. Morris, as another whistle will go against the Thorns. It's been a chippy, as they say, second half without a doubt. And the Spirit are going to have to really hurry and make things happen. Foul goes against Dagny. Quick restart. Here comes the Spirit. I like the width of the field with Krieger on this near side.
You can see all the numbers in, up, and around. They've got, you know, 2 players back and everybody else up in and around the box.
87th minute. As Morris again just continues to put pedal to the metal.
Has that dangerous speed.
Farquharson, what a play by Franch. Yep, Farquharson just bearing right down on AD, and it was a foot race to be sure. Love the ball.
Great ball slotted through. Confident goalkeeper coming off the line. Franch does a great job.
Confident and quick. Heath with some room to move. Look at that ball to Morris. Med looking for the brace. Wanted the far post, didn't get it.
Calling the touch. Looks like they have a corner though.
Nifty ball by Heath. She already has an assist and a goal in this match. You mentioned it, you called it, corner for the Thorns. Here's Heath. Punched away by LeBay, and Tobin will collect it. Dunn playing the defense. Heath tag team and finds Klingenberg. Right back to Menges. Slots it to Long.
Good run from Long across the slash.
Kept the ball in play nicely. Uh-oh.
Not sure if that's what she had planned or not.
Looked like she slipped on that
Again,
one,
I think the field is a little bit wetter than usual. They're just losing their feet a little bit.
You know, the forecast called for rain throughout this match. It was raining a good 15-20 minutes, maybe a half hour before the match, and then up at the beginning as the match commenced. Field obviously a little damp as Rasso comes away with it. Rasso trying to find the touch.
Morris got to get back on side.
Yeah. You see the strength of Morris, who went shoulder to shoulder with Kleiner. Fans thought that ball belonged to the Thorns, but here comes Washington. 90th minute. Williams's injury minutes ago will provide some stoppage time for Washington to try and stay in this thing. Dunn carries it, a ton of real estate.
Dunn just basically running past 4 people. Unbelievable.
You asked for it, you got it, now available at your locally owned McDonald's. Are your favorite breakfast items any time of the day, all day breakfast, finally here. So 5 minutes of stoppage time as you saw Crystal Dunn do her thing, and here comes the corner. 5 minutes is a ton of time.
That is, you can accomplish a lot, and they're not stopping.
Ooh, Dunn just wide with that header. Lohman had started the header sequence, and Dunn was able to get her noggin on it just wide.
I tell you, she's integral part of this team. You know, she gets a lot done. You talked about her not scoring, but the things that she's been doing, very dangerous and very close. I mean, that's a couple feet off the goal.
I'll say.
Just incredible soccer player.
Dunn has an assist tonight and has attracted all kinds of by-committee defense by the Thorns, and still has managed to get some quality shots. Here she comes again. Blocked nicely. Again, the Thorns trying to clear, and here's Krieger.
Holy ping pong, Batman.
Farquharson.
They're pressing. I mean, Washington is doing a great job. They really are. This is a team 4-1. They haven't stopped. I mean, they've, you know, from the beginning of the game, they've really kept pressing, kept playing, kept working hard, kept doing the things that you want a team to do.
Well, they come into this match atop the table, not having suffered a defeat all season long. The only blemish on the record was that tie against Portland earlier this month. Farquharson.
Good tracking by Sonnet, be able to pick up Matheson.
I like the idea by Farquharson, as she knew Matheson was coming right down the gut. Dunn turns, Sonnet right there. Heath calmly looking for Long. Easy call to make there as Lohman pushes Long from behind. The Thorns will take their time getting this ball into play.
A little bit of contact with their hands there.
5 minutes of stoppage time, or a couple of minutes into that. It would be an absolute collapse by the Thorns to give up a 4-1 lead as bodies go a-tumbling again, Kleiner and Morris. This, Janine, is going to be a quality victory for the Portland Thorns.
I agree. You know, we knew that coming in. 2 undefeated teams, and you talk about all those statistics, but you know, when it comes down to it, statistics are what they are. There are numbers, but this has shown that really is quality, that these are the 2 teams that are, at the top in the fourth, rising in the standings. This is a great match.
We're about 2:40 into stoppage time, the allotted 5 minutes. And Janine, what do you make of this explosive Portland Thorns offense tonight? Obviously, coming into the match, they had scored but 5 goals. Tonight, they've got 4.
They were able to, and Mark Parsons spoke to a little bit about road trips do something really great for a team, and you do spend more time together. It's not every single minute of every day, but just the time here and there, the meals, the travel, just getting a chance to know each other a little bit. And as these young women come together as a team, that's that intangible thing in the group setting, right? Where they're able to, just kind of get together, gel a little bit better. Off the field helps on the field, and they know and believe in each other more and more.
Parsons talks about conversation and connection. And a lot of folks would say, well, that's just a bunch of woo-woo stuff, but there's something to it, isn't it?
The teams that I've been on, the most successful teams that I've either heard of or seen are teams that got along really well. One of the best teams that I ever was fortunate enough to be around and play with was the Cyber A's in the WUSA, and that team was so close. I mean, they went to war with each other, they fought for each other, they cared about each other, and ended up winning it the first year. And I've never seen a team that close, and you can see even through all the hardships, it makes a difference, it really does.
So less than a minute to go in stoppage time as Morris again thundering down into the 18. The Thorns will win this match, led it 3-0 at half. Washington comes back with a terrific goal. Lohman, heads that thing in, assisted by Dunn. But then Meg Morris off the bench with the 4th goal of the night that basically slammed the door.
Definitely. I mean, she was devastating. Even you just watch her runs previously to the goal. It's unbelievable. That just, really kind of, puts the exclamation point on it and says, look, we're still playing, we're still there, and we're going to win this thing.
Allie collects. Allie pulls the trigger. Knocked away.
Corner's not bad, little deflection, get the corner out of it, and this way it's still taking a little bit of time for them, and they have possession.
Crowd anticipating the final whistle blown by the officials. And the final from Providence Park in Portland, the Thorns defeating league-leading Washington 4-1. A lot of highlights coming your way, and you're loving them if you're a Thorns fan. Janine, let's take a look at how things got started with Horan on the scoring end.
Great ball in by Horan, or by Tobin Heath, right to Horan. Finishes it. Again, she knows where to be. I think those two have an extra special connection. One step back, buries it.
Heath with yet another assist, Horan with yet another goal, and the Thorns were on top 1-0.
Ball played in, Sink just hits this nice little ball in between a really difficult spot with an on-pressing Nadim. Creates problems, and that's the kind of thing. You get them, you cause them, you create them. That's how goals happen.
Own goal makes it 2-0. Stoppage time.
Nice little textured ball, as they say, from Sinclair into Heath. She takes a good shot. I mean, it's a great first touch by the keeper, but Heath follows.
Dunn just knocks Klingenberg, and then the cross. Oh, what a goal by Lohman.
I tell you, that's just, again, that hard work. These women keep playing, keep playing.
But here's Meg Morris off the bench.
Just riding that line right behind that defender, slips in, and then great outside of the foot with the right bend. Clears the keeper, side netting.
Rushing over to her teammates, and that started a huge celebration. And that's how it ends, 4-1. The Thorns with a big victory to go to 3-0-3 on the year, Janine. More importantly, 3 points. That makes 12 on the season.
That's just great positioning, and you can't ask for much more. We said it before the game. They had the points out of the road trip, and so they're in a great place.
Tobin Heath joining us. Tobes, a heck of a match for you guys after the long road trip. Help us understand finally coming home, what it meant for such a big victory over a quality club.
Yeah, this was huge. Obviously, playing the Spirit, who are undefeated, and finally coming back home, it was a great result for us. We felt the energy of our fans. It was amazing. To get a result like this is huge, and it's huge momentum going forward.
Tobin, you've had very good offense. You guys work well together. What do you think the difference is tonight in having 4?
I think it really has to do with our ball winning in the midfield. It really sets us up well for the transition and going forward. Obviously, having Sinky back, that's just an amazing bonus, and she's already playing fantastic. I thought our defense was solid tonight. Kat Reynolds, I want to give her a shout out because I thought she was fantastic.
Do you have anything that you guys didn't do tonight that was on the game plan, or that you think, just to keep your head in it, like what could you do better? Is there anything that sticks out that you didn't accomplish?
I'm sure I could think of stuff after the game. Right now, I'm just taking the positives away. But obviously, we're going to build on this, and we're going to keep going forward and grow as a team.
Well, Tobin, you have all those assists, and now you finally got a goal. Well done.
Thanks.
Congratulations. That's Tobin Heath, one of the real engines of this club. Had that assist early on to Haran, and then the goal in stoppage time to end the first half. A big part in Portland's 4-1 victory. Next match, it'll be at home against, the Seattle Reign, Sunday, May 29th at 4 p.m. That ought to be something, part of the holiday weekend.
That's going to be a great game, and we can't wait for that one, especially after this, coming off a 4-1 win with a previously undefeated team. I mean, it's just, the Portland Thorns want to play Seattle every day, and this is going to be even better.
All right, that's going to do it from Providence Park. The Portland Thorns defeating the Washington Spirit 4-1, handing Washington its first loss of the season. The Thorns stay unbeaten and climb closer to the top of the standings. Again, Thorns back on the pitch next Sunday, May 29th, right here at Providence Park. For Janine and our entire broadcast crew, I'm Ann Schatz saying so long from downtown Portland. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next Sunday. Until then, have a great week. Go Thorns!